Hello YouTube, just going to state one. If you are, this is my review for Crank High Voltage, also known as Crank 2. If you have not seen the first Crank movie, shut off now. I'm going to spoil it. Why? Because Crank High Voltage is a sequel. And it's so related to the first one, you can't believe. It's just got so many characters in the first one. And it's the same exact kind of story. It's really good. Okay, first one. We've got Crank got injected. Oh, this is for the part of you that have seen the first one, but later on I'm going to cut to a second group saying those of you that I'm not going to spoil the second one right now. This is just my review based on the first one. So those of you who've seen the first one but haven't seen the second one, or don't mind it, that don't want to spoil the experience, listen to this. If you've already seen the second one, or if you basically don't mind getting spoiled, then I'll tell you when, and then I'm talking to you guys. All right, so first off, in Crank 1, we had him get injected by some Chinese shit, as it was said, and it was going to kill him. And he only had a very short time to live, and like in any video game, he had to get health bars. He had to do something related to getting health back. As kind of a joke, him having sex and the rest of that. Well, part of the reason why that joke actually hit me home is as soon as I saw that, I was like, it's a video game. Even before he said he was a video game programmer, just seeing that, I'm like, okay, one, who is his wife? Who's the lady he's hanging out with? A really hot lady. Very acceptable, very open. Yeah, just like the picture perfect. This is what I want. She will, no matter what crazy shit I do, she'll actually be interested, and she'll continue to follow me around. That never happens in real life. No, 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 no. Okay, two. Wow. Just wow, the amount of gratuitous sex. Well, here's what hit me. Two. So, what did they use? Sex. Okay. Why? Well, you play Grand Theft Auto. If you're in Grand Theft Auto and you go into the back seat with a prostitute, the car goes, etc., makes the sounds, and your health bar goes, and fills up. Well, it hit me as pretty much the same exact plot, etc. Okay, anyway, so continuing on. Then comes the most gratuitous violent scenes where he's shooting people, and then he's got the mafia on his side, and he's going through and clearing them all off, and the rest of that. Second movie has the same kind of thing. It's Chinese or Japanese. Both groups are directly involved in this, and they're kind of under society or counter society, counterculture in this area. That's exactly the same kind of thing as the first movie. Two, they've got a lot of the same kind of violence, and they've got the same kind of sex, and they've got, showing boobs and the rest of that. And Chip Chelios just gets to be a badass who can take almost anything and survive almost anything, just like in the first. If you're looking at it and you're like, oh, it's not going to be as good as the first, you're wrong. It's better than the first in all ways. Every time I've seen the second one, I just like whoa. So I watched the first one again yesterday, and then I watched the second one again, and there's no comparison. The first one was way out there, but the second one is just like, whoa, whoa, never seen that in a movie before. It's going to be one of those things you're watching and you're like, oh, that's kind of, oh my, he did what? You're going to have what I like to refer to as what the fuck moments. It will happen. Period. It will just happen. All right. Now, for those of you that have seen the first one and are thinking about seeing the second one, I will say two things. One, if you remember seeing the first one, don't bring kids. It's rated the way it is for a reason. It could be even rated higher than that if they actually showed some of the stuff that they were doing. It would have been rated X. But they didn't, so it wasn't rated X. But damn, it was as close as you can get with a rated R movie. It was even more than in... I can't think of any other movies that even come close, honestly. It's just way out there. Okay, now I'm going to switch. It just hit the 5 minute mark. I was going to do 5 of one and 5 of the other. Now, all of those that don't want to get spoiled for the second movie, I want to tune out now. If you don't mind spoilers, or if you've already seen the second movie, now I'm talking to you. Well, I don't remember at the end of the first movie where he fell down and landed and bounced off the car and died, right? Well, whoever stays dead in a video game, if the first game is liked enough, they find some way to bring him back. No matter how cliche, they're gonna bring him back. And the intro to the freaking movie was so freaking obvious that it was a video game. I mean, just look at it. You got the whole video game 16-bit graphics and everything. It's just like I was right. I was dead on. It's a freaking video game. They had an overhead map where it's like, okay, and he needs to go to here. It cuts across and just goes straight to an area saying, oh, oh, we need to go to downtown, and shows it going to downtown. I mean, it's so obvious. Um, Also, they're harvesting his organs because he was such a tough bastard in the first movie. The head guy, basically the leader of all the organizations, the really old guy, wants the heart because he could survive anything, right? So he thinks he'll survive longer if he has the heart of Chepchelios, who's survived the worst poison they had. Same doctor, same everyone else in the movie. Um, we get to see someone get hit by a car. It was really cool, and the person survived. The guy from I forgot it again. Um, Napoleon Dynamite, the one that was playing Pedro, that was running for class president. He is a gay guy, and who has some kind of neurological disease that causes him to shake uncontrollably in full body motion. The rest of that, he does get to be a badass later. So if you see some scenes like that where it's really funny and all the rest of it, don't worry, he will be really cool later. He is, especially near the end of the fight. And because of him and his close friends, the end of the movie becomes a huge bloodbath. Chip Chelios gets to be a badass. He even shoves a shotgun up someone's ass. He electrocutes himself, I can think of at least 16 times, including shoving his finger into a um, cigarette lighter, which kind of freaked out the person that was sitting there, like, what? What did he just do? And one where he's in a power plant and he grabs a hold of at that point he just kind of loses it. And there's just some shaking cameras, and suddenly it's all King Kong fighting Mothra kind of style violence. That they're exaggerated and all the rest of that. They're suddenly like 30 stories tall fighting. It's really funny, in my opinion. Some of the best scenes in the movie are so over the top. Let's see. The other thing that the reason he was alive, one, they took his heart. They could have just killed him, but the leader of the organization that he killed in the first movie, they kept his head alive, and he wants to see him die. That's the reason why we're going to remove all the organs from a specific order, each one with a specific reason where it's going to go, and they were basically going to transplant it into someone else. Yeah, that's the story. So once again, he gets to run around finding different ways to stay alive, including, lo and behold, friction with human bodies. They had to come up with some reason so he could have sex on screen. So they did multiple times. Even one notorious scene of him rubbing against an old lady who's wearing like a fleece sweater or something like that. Um, let's see. I believe his name is John Delancey, the one that voices Q on Star Trek: The Next Generation. He's on this as a news reporter. A very humorous role for him, and he was a good kind of narrator, if nothing else. And by the end of the movie, just like in the first, there once again is a huge bloodbath. Oh, right. Really funny, nice twist in the movie is when he's chasing around this box, expecting his heart to be in it. He realized that he'd actually been unconscious for a month. One, his wife or girlfriend or whatever she was now dating someone else that he beats the shit out of. Two, then he finds out his heart was not in the box; it's already been put in the old guy. So three, they find the old guy, and the prostitute under the doctor's rule gets him and brings him in, and it's like, oh, karma's a bitch, ain't it? That was a really funny scene. And four, he catches on fire. Chip Chelios catches on fire and flips off the camera at the end of the movie. Wow. He looks like he's going to die at that point. All I can say is, can't wait for the next one. Go see the movie. Bye.